It's Miss Kim from the United Arts Council. So we're going to be bringing you some videos with art and stories. So I'm going to share a story with you, and then I'm going to show you an art project. So we're going to start with one of my favorite stories. This is called The Day the Crayons Quit, and it's really funny. So I'm going to read the story to you first, and then I'm going to come back in a little bit and I'm going to show you a project with crayons, of course, and then you should be able to go find those materials at your house and you can do an art project. So I'll see you again in a little bit. Have fun with the story. The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt. Pictures by Oliver Jeffers. The day the crayons quit. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of the other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizards' hats. But it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige. And I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know the elephants are gray, and that's a lot of space to color in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are gray, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time, I'm the same color as the page you are using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk, your empty friend, White Crayon. And there's a white cat in the snow by Duncan. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things. Things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Dear Duncan, as green crayon, I am writing for 2 reasons. One is to say I like my work, loads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon. Who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking. And I can prove I am the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to draw color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you. The big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I am clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday you used me to color the sun on both the Monkey Island and the Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Aren't you glad I'm here? Ha! Your pal and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I have really enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I am so short and stubby I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Duncan, okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I am a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color in her Little Princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. Hey Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help! Your naked friend, Peach Crayon. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color, and of course he wanted to use his crayons to be happy, and that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring and an A+ for creativity. The end. Hi everybody. So I hope you enjoyed the story The Day the Crayons Quit. It's one of my favorite books. It's really has some really funny parts in it. So now I'm going to show you how to do an art project with crayons. And there are lots and lots of crayons. So when you use crayons, maybe even look at the wrapper and see what the name of the crayon is. Because I've looked at a lot of crayons and they have all different kinds of names. They're not just red and green and blue. There's actually even a crayon called macaroni and cheese. So what you need for this project are some crayons, of course. You need some paper. Just regular, ordinary, plain paper would be great for this project. You don't want any paper that's really thick, okay? So thinner paper would be best. And then you need to go search around your house and see if you can find some things that have a texture. So we don't want them to be very smooth. We want anything that's kind of bumpy. So maybe like if you have a tile floor or wood floor, you probably have bumps on the floor. So you could do something like that. You could go outside and get a leaf because leaves have bumps on them. You could find different kinds of materials. So I found a comb that has a texture to it. So anything that feels a little bit bumpy. So go on a scavenger hunt and see if you can find things that are bumpy. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come back with what you have, or if you're going to just do what's on the floor or the ground, you're going to put your paper right on the floor or the ground. So I'm going to make a rubbing of this comb. So I'm going to lay it down on my table, and then I'm going to put my paper on top of the comb. And I need to hold it still. I don't want it to move around while I'm doing this. So you might ask somebody to help you hold the paper still so it doesn't move while you're doing the rubbing. You can use any color crayon you want for the rubbing, but a darker color probably will show up a little bit better. So maybe don't use yellow or orange. Don't use macaroni and cheese for this one. So a darker color. And then here's the silly part. You need to have one of the crayons that doesn't have any paper on it, okay? So sort of like the peach crayon, no paper on the crayon. So if you have paper on it like this, you have to take it all off. So I'm going to use this crayon right here. I took all the paper off already, and I'm going to lay it down right on top of my paper, and I'm gently going to go over it, and I'm going to rub back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm not going to color on the end, because if you do that, you're probably going to get a lot of extra marks and lines that you don't really want. So I'm just going to rub back and forth, back and forth. Okay. Okay. And it might move a little bit, but sometimes that is actually even almost a little bit more interesting. So let me show you what happened to mine. So mine moved a little teeny bit, but it made my comb look like it's moving a little bit. So see, I can tell that it's a comb, but it doesn't look exactly like the comb, and it's called a rubbing of the comb. So see what texture materials you can find at your house, do some rubbings, and then you could even actually, when you're done, you could cut them out and maybe put them together in a collage or color them in. So I'm going to show you some examples of some other things that I did rubbings with, and you see if you can guess what they are, okay? So I'm going to show you a picture of the real thing after I show you the rubbing, but see if you can guess what the rubbings are made with. All right, so have fun doing rubbings, and I will see you again soon. So bye for right now from Miss Kim at the United Arts Council.